It's a good time to be an Arsenal fan. Can get used to playing Real Madrid every week. Alhamdulillah, as it says there, people. But moving on, Arsenal are ready to offer Viktor Gyokeres a 5-year deal worth 10 million a season. Chelsea and Manchester United are unwilling to match those wages. Chelsea are unwilling to match those wages. Man United, well, to be fair, the Ineos group, they're trying to right the wrongs of the numerous seasons of Manchester United. Arsenal have won the race for Gyökeres with a contract offer that Chelsea and Manchester United are unwilling to match, according to a report. I'll believe and I have no doubt, a lot of transfers, not just at Arsenal, but all over the world. There's talks with agents and all of these things that have been going on for a matter of months. And I don't doubt that, there's a reality. We have won the race. We've heard Berta's a big fan of Gyökeres. You'd imagine Berta's got to work already on what we need to do, because that Real Madrid performance just makes you think, if you just fix up the things that need to be fixed up at this football club, use the foundation that we've got. I'm not saying we're going to win every year and whatnot, but we're a force to be reckoned with. I'll only believe that we've won any race for any player when I see people holding shirts. In Gyökeres' case, I grew up watching Vieira and Bergkamp and Perez and Thierry Henry and yada, yada, yada. People, I don't know. But Football Transfers has previously detailed that Arsenal put themselves in the front for the race for Athletic Bilbao club winger Nico Williams. Thanks to their strong financial advantage, they're also set to put this muscle to good use in order to land the Sporting CP striker. Since Berta's arrival at the club last month, there's been a shift away from the Leipzig hitman Benjamin Sesko and a focus on landing Gyökeres, who is available around the 70 million euro mark. Arsenal had previously chased the Sweden hitman last summer and have reignited their interest thanks to the new sporting director. Indeed, Berta seems to be a big fan of the 26-year-old based on the Gunners' proposed contract offer. Gyökeres is set to be offered a bumper deal worth around 60 million euros, 50 million over 5 years, according to Just Arsenal. I don't doubt that, or I'm not endorsing or condemning, but it would slap a bit better if Romano and Ornsteins of this world were saying it. I've no doubt, no disrespect. His annual salary will be just 10 million a year, which will push him into the bracket of the Gunners' biggest earners, which you'd imagine if you do sign Gyökeres and Nico Williams, they're going to be there. Saka needs to get a bolster. Magalhaes is earning less than Mikel Merino, big him up, Zinchenko and several others, and he deserves to be up there. And you would imagine Saliba's going to be up there as well. On paper, you still got Gabriel Jesus, you've still got Kai Havertz, you've still got someone like Zinchenko on 150k, and there's a couple players earning like 50 odd here and there. We'll get onto it, but you'd imagine the new Highlanders sign a significantly improved contract. And again, there's other deals. Yes, I want to keep Tierney and Partey, but that's probably 300 or 3,500,000 a week off the wage bills immediately. That gets into the 400 odd region when you get rid of Jorginho as well. So we'll have to see. Chelsea United have also been following Gyökeres, as both clubs are in the need of a type of firepower he can provide, yet they have refused to match Arsenal's wage offer for the player who has 31 goals and 7 assists in the Liga Portugal this season. I mean, you saw our 3-0 win against Real Madrid. But big up yourself. And I'm not going to exaggerate and say that was the most exciting part about the game, because I'm seeing Lewis Skelly stand up tall. I'm seeing a half-fit Saka regaining his fitness. Bro, Saka is scary, because this ain't Saka feeling completely great. This is him managing, but I'm seeing him do stuff. I'm seeing Declan Rice, 105 million bargain, parties regulating. I'm seeing the gaffer doing what he's doing. But so it weren't the most exciting thing. But again, one of the most exciting things was Berta at full time, because it made me think, you're a passion merchant like me, you're going to get things certified. Allegedly, Arsenal are planning a 200, if we could bring that up, Arsenal are planning a 200 million triple swoop for Viktor Gyokeres, Nico Williams and Martin Zubimendi. We've heard that several times. I think we'll all believe it when we see it, right? But it's a step in the right direction if that happens. And we did hear Gyökeres reps will be at the Emirates when we took on Real Madrid. Again, big up Mikel Merino, not just for his goal, but, his goal, the confidence he's in, and his part in playing very well. But if you're Gyökeres, you obviously see what Mikel Arteta and Arsenal are doing, saw how jumpy it is, probably got hella selfies with Arsenal and football alumni. Roberto Carlos was there, Henry was there, the London factor. There's a free spot for a striker, because as much as I like, Kivior standing up to be counted, Merino standing up to be counted, you would like to go into a Real Madrid game with a proper number 9 and someone better than Kivior, and all over the field, and maybe even options off the field, because it was romantic in this regard. But we did come into it with Timber post ACL season, bare minutes, young Lewis Skelly, Kivior, Marino not being a striker, and all of these other kind of things. So Gyökeres had to have been looking at that and thinking, you know what, there's a slot for me here to be as part of the squad. Apparently Nottingham Forest are still chasing Gyökeres, people. So the chase for him continues. Now, apparently Arsenal have tied down Mikel Arteta's backroom staff to new contracts. Arteta has developed a core coaching group during his time at the club, which includes Albert Stevenberg, Carlos Cuesta, first team coach Miguel Molina, goalkeeping coach Inaki Kanya, set piece specialist Nicholas Hover, who Declan Rice went against, and actually Odegaard, and said, I'm clarting the ball in the back of the net. We all know Mikel Arteta signed a new contract to extend his deal until 2027, which is a crucial time, man, because Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Bukayo Saka, Mikel Arteta, all out on contract at the same time. But for now, there's some stability. You know, you've got Berta in, which I hope he's here for a long time. I'm sure, you know, the key players, the Sakas, the Magalhaeses, the Salibas, now Nwaneri and Lewis Skelly, we're trying to do what we can in terms of contracts, trying to bring people in, trying to flush people out. So it makes sense to keep the core coaching staff together, if I'm honest with you. The quartet are now understood to have all penned new contracts, which brings them in line with the length of Mikel Arteta's contract. Arteta revealed in December how the club were planning to tie his backroom staff, and the club had originally wanted to do so when he signed his contract. We all tried to do it at the same time. It's difficult because 4 or 5 people committing at the same time is not easy to do, of course, people. So yeah, I'm happy, man. As long as we can finally get over the line, why not, man? I can't imagine tearing that up. You know, I would love Hato at the football club. He has spoken. He said, I think I've improved a lot this season, especially at left back. Last season, I played a lot as a centre back, but this season, I'm just a left back. So you can play centre back, left back. You're young. You're from Ajax. You're friends with Timber. I'm a big fan of yours. Arteta loves to sign a defender. You could be the long-term heir for Gabriel Magalhaes and an option in that squad. And we probably will move on Kivio in the summer. He's got 100 appearances or just over 100 appearances now for Ajax at 19. Still very much a work in progress, as you saw when he's played for Holland. But bring him, man. He said, yes, I did talk to Timber about the centre-back to full-back. He made his debut as a full-back and left as a central defender. And now at Arsenal, he plays everywhere in the back. He's definitely a role model for me. If he's so much of a role model for you, come join him in London, bro. Come and join him, man. I'm on that. Apparently, Aston Villa and Arsenal people have fresh fears of being unable to lure Nepan to the Emirates Stadium or Villa Park as Bundesliga heavyweights Borussia Dortmund have entered the race to sign the Rosenborg star signature. We heard he had plenty of offers in January. He's toured Arsenal's training ground and a lot of others. And then him and his advisors allegedly sat there and said, you know what, we'll give decisions in the summer. So we'll have to see, man. He's got the pick of clubs, the Norway under-21s international. As much as I want players that are in win-now mode, you can never stop future planning. Especially if this guy can come really challenge Martin Odegaard and do all of those kind of things, I think we'll all be for it. Give Me Sports sources have been informed that Arsenal and Aston Villa have made offers to sign Nepan, who marked his first start of the season with the winning goal for Rosenborg against Fredrikstad last weekend. But there's been a twist in their respective pursuits as Borussia Dortmund are threatening to derail their hopes of getting the deal over the line. The 18-year-old has been flourishing since making the breakthrough into the first team in his current surroundings, having progressed through the youth ranks at the Lerkadal Stadium and interested in acquiring his services. But hey, I'm all for that, and the City Group on him. So everybody's onto him. Apparently, he's entering the last 18 months of his contract, so we'll have to watch that. Gabriel Magalhaes is still being linked with Saudi Arabia, people, still being linked with them. They're prepared to offer him 20 to 25 million per year salary, and there's 100 million shouts. I wonder if Arsenal will go for that, but we're also working on a new deal. Magalhaes can't be sold. Now, we've been linked with, if this will load, Petro Comuso. Don't know too much about the Fiorentina defender. I'm sure he's a centre half, can play fullback. You know, I think he's got a twin or something like that as well. And I think he's young. He's like 20. But Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Spurs are all interested in a move for Comuso, who was shunned at Fiorentina this season. I mean, anyone that's been looking for a striker and has ran the rule over Moise Kean, you had to have seen him. Arsenal are preparing an offer worth 30 million euros for Real Madrid midfielder Arda Güler. Do we really believe this? We did it with Odegaard. We did sign Ceballos on a couple of loans. So we do have dialogue with Real Madrid. And you look at all of the stars, it's difficult breaking through at Real Madrid, isn't it? Ask Martin Odegaard. And he does play in positions that we need. He is a player that we like. You would love for Mesut Ozil to tell him about Arsenal, but I think this is an easy one to link us with. Cunha still being linked with a move away. Apparently, his preference is to join Liverpool this summer, who apparently are about to commit Trent Alexander-Arnold and Salah and Van Dijk to a new contract, and it's been radio silence with Trent, but his preference is to join Liverpool. But apparently, he also has interest with Arsenal and Man United. So we'll have to see. Kivior, whose best performance was probably against Real Madrid. I mean, probably not in the grand scheme of things because you've probably been tested in other games, but it's Real Madrid, isn't it? Arsenal are willing to sell Kivior this summer to help fund Mikel Arteta's new signings. I mean, if you could leave a Champions League winner, why not? Now, Aston Villa lost against PSG yesterday, but apparently Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Inter all holding interest in signing Camara, who has received a new contract offer from Aston Villa, which I'm not too sure if I take heed of that, but fair play. Arsenal would be willing to spend 125 million to sign Lautaro Martinez. This source that's been cited, they seem to talk a lot of nonsense. We have been linked with Lautaro Martinez before. We've watched him since his days in Argentina. Can't imagine Inter are going to let him go anytime soon. Good player, though. Seems to do his best football in a partnership, though. And I just don't believe it, but could do a lot worse. Osman favours a move to Juventus or a Premier League club this summer. Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United are all interested in the striker who's available for 55 million. We've spoken about Hato as well. Agent Timber, get that done, man. Get that done. What's this? Arsenal ready to move for a former Haaland player. Who? I mean, we know we're trying to get Garcia and Zubamendi. Oh, Eze. So we've been linked with Eze again. Fair enough. He did play in A-Len, but apparently he's got a 60 million release clause. Can't imagine Crystal Palace are going to let him go cheaply. You know, we'll have to see. Arsenal already have a midfielder, Fabio Vieira, on loan at Porto without a buy clause, suggesting that Arteta would like to retain the Portuguese. If possible, even if Arteta decides that the 24-year-old is surplus to requirements, 442 understands that the club's one-in, one-out policy could prevent a replacement entering the squad with Nwaneri an option in midfield. We'll have to see. That done me. I don't know why I thought Balogun or something for some reason. We know there's going to be a clear out. We've actually been linked with Frankie de Jong. Partey still linked with Barcelona and his contract is running out. Would you lot keep Thomas Partey? The same question could be pointed towards Jorginho and Kieran Tierney. And for banter, Neto and Raheem Sterling, I already know you lot's answers. We know speculation over the futures of Zinchenko and Trossard will be rife this summer. Tomiyasu is going to stay because he's injured. And I wonder about how we start the season because Arteta came out and said, Magalhaes is out for 4 months. We know Kai Havertz is back for pre-season. Jesus had to push his back. So we're going to need to bring in some players early, man. So we know we're going to need to flush a couple of players out. I wouldn't say that's actually anything new. Declan Rice praised Thomas Partey's performance against Real Madrid. Nico Williams could be about to complicate Arsenal's efforts to sign him with a potential lifelong contract at Bilbao now being considered. Don't be silly, Nico Williams. If I'm Bilbao and I can see I've got a player wanted by clubs in England and you know, clubs in Barcelona and every now and again Real Madrid, 22 years of age, a Euro 2024 winner, and he's got a release clause of 60 odd million in a day and age where lesser players are going for a lot more. I'm going to give you a new contract with probably some more money, but that release clause potentially could double or just in and around that. So we've heard that before. I'm not going to take too much stock in it. I think this article will just say the revenue's going up from being in the Champions League, people. So we won't waste time with that. Again, but a rival prompts fresh look at Nico Williams. We still have an interest in him. We're still talking to him, but it doesn't seem like anything is changing at that point. We're going to get into that in just a sec. Arsenal exploring a Mateta swoop as 4-man shortlist revealed. I mean, it doesn't surprise me if we ran the rule over him and everything else. I personally don't think we're going to go for the 27-year-old, who is a good forward in what's worth, but apparently Cunha, Gyokeres, Sesko, and now Mateta are the ones being linked, people. I don't know. Mateta has been on the radar of a number of clubs this season. The way he's played for Palace and the goals he has scored, he's always going to attract a level of interest in his availability. From what I hear, Arsenal among those clubs who have had scouts watching him. We know Arteta wants to add a striker to his squad, but I think he's after a real elite forward who is going to lead the line for them. I don't think Mateta is top of that list. There are other strikers they're looking at instead, although they have considered a move for him. He has done brilliantly for Crystal Palace and made a strong reputation for himself, but he's not going to be the answer to Arsenal's problems. He's a Palace player. He's made for that role. He's loving it under Glasner, and he fits in perfectly with the way they play there. He's a far more valuable player to Palace than he would be at Arsenal. So then why are you saying we're on to him then? Once again, according to reports in Spain about an Argentinian player, about what an English club is going to do, I know Mikel Arteta is Spanish. Berta, the Italian, has spent time at Atletico Madrid in Spain, and I know football's universal, but it just seems like an easy one to kind of make out, if I'm honest. 18 goals in 40 appearances as well. We know we need a forward in it, so it's easy. Liam Delap is being looked at apparently by half of the Premier League and has a 30 million release clause or relegation release clause. I wouldn't be against him. In an ideal world, you get me a Gyokeres and you get me a Liam Delap who can challenge Gyokeres and help us and all of those kind of things. But I don't think that is going to be the case, people. And finally, Arsenal and Nwaneri to hold new contract talks. Arsenal are set to hold talks with teenage forward Nwaneri about a new contract. We all know he's played an important role and he's grown in stature. I'm not sure on Nwaneri, but I'm sure Miles Lewis-Skelly's deal technically runs up in 2026. It'd be silly for Arsenal not to give him a new deal. And I think everyone, well, we're not in negotiations. I mean, what reason at this moment in time the Nwaneri and definitely Lewis-Skelly have to leave? Don't do this to me. While a formal offer of a new contract is yet to be tabled, it's understood the club have initiated contact with Nwaneri's reps with a view to holding formal discussions, which will take place in the coming weeks. Naturally, he can expect a significant pay rise, people. So you would imagine that. And you would imagine that with Lewis-Skelly as well, Miles Lewis-Skelly as well, people. Fellow academy grad Miles Lewis-Skelly is also in line for a new contract with those discussions already underway. We all know he's become a key part of the season. I'm not going to say they haven't both made big impacts because I'm happy here, but like, who would you say out of Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly have made the bigger impact? Surely it's Lewis-Skelly because he's probably played a lot more, started a lot more, played in a lot more bigger games per se, and obviously because of the injuries at fullback. But we're happy to have them both, man. To have Bukayo Saka, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Nwaneri, we've got to take our time and keep our feet on the ground with all of them, and also Max Dolman. And there'll probably be a couple of other kids that pop up every now and again. It's a good couple under 13s and 14s, but that's a while. And we all know the stars that we have in and around the first team and the hope we have for Berta. And hopefully beating Real Madrid 3-0 could just reignite a spark in this team that if we move serious, we can do serious things. Don't forget to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts on Nwaneri, Lewis-Skelly and everything we've discussed, folks.
Like